Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a continuation of last week. Last week we did card making basics. This week we're going to do a little bit of embellishments and things you can use to step up your card and take it to that next level, make it look a little bit more fun, dimensional, and professional. So this week we're going to be going through some sequins. These ones are from Studio Katia. This one's the Majestic Confetti, which are clear sequins. I have the silver foil and the gold foil confetti. I ordered another package of these because I feel like I'm going to go through them quickly. They do go with like anything you put them on because they are clear. So they're good to have. Gold and silver. I just like to have gold and silver of like everything that I have because they also go with pretty much anything. I also have these confetti bits that I've shown in a previous video that are actually meant for nail art, but I use them for shaker cards, specifically flat shaker cards most of the time. And they come in these trays. There's 5 in a set for like 20 Canadian dollars on Amazon. You do get like multiples of the same color throughout the collection, which is good because if you're doing a larger card you might want more than like this little bit of a filler. And they also come in multiple color combinations, so you can see like I've used this tray up before. Looks like I've used some of this one and this one as well, but you get like 60 altogether and they last you a pretty long time and they're fairly inexpensive. Next, this is my tray of crystal gems. Again, I have clear ones. These are from Paper Rose. I believe these red ones are too. And I have black. Again, I have gold and silver pearls. And I bought red ones. I like to do a lot of Christmas cards, so I like to have clear, red, silver, gold for everything. These ones are clear bubbles. These are really good for, again, underwater cards or like fish themed cards. These ones are bubble ones. They have a bit of an iridescent sheen to them and they're a bit more clear. I find that these ones, the actual clear ones, are a little bit on the yellow side. And then these gems are just from like the dollar store. They do have a bit of a point on them. They are kind of like diamond shaped. So they'd be good for a thicker shaker card, but like not good to glue down onto your card straight. And I just keep them in this container. I got it from the Dollarama. I wouldn't put anything sequin in here. I did learn that the hard way, and there is a bit of a lip in between the dividers and the lid, so they will move around, but I think anything larger than a flat sequin, it works pretty good for this tray. Plus I also store it flat like this. I'm gonna probably be going through organization and storage in a future video. And then just some like card examples where I've used these. This is a card I made using Trinity Stamps Melted Icicle flat sequins. They have a bit of a, like an iridescent shimmer to them, and they go on any color you put them on. So they just add that like bit of bling to a plain card. These are actually the clear crystals from Paper Roses. I colored them using an alcohol marker in a green because I wanted green gems to match the melon here. So that's really easy to do. You just put them on a piece of tape, color them with your marker, let them dry before you attach them to your card. And I can show that in a future video. And then just some additional sequins and bits. This is a pack I got from Michael's Recollections. It's got shells in it, like sea glass colored sequins, a bit of stars. This one's really good for like those mermaid cards that I love to make. I have a new set coming in soon, so that'll be fun. I'll probably do like a crafty haul video, just a short one. I only bought like 3 or 4 stamp sets, but I'll just show you what I bought recently when they come in and maybe make a card with it with these. These are some clay shaker bits. These ones are little kitty cats in like gray tabby. I think these are from Picket Fence Studios. And these ones, again, I like to make a lot of underwater cards. So these are like little fish I have actually not used these yet, but I do really want to use them in a card, so I will probably do that soon. And this will make probably 2 or 3 shaker cards, depending on what you're doing. Like if you only want a couple of the fish in there, then you would use a little bit of this plus some other things, but you could also use this all up in one thick shaker card if you wanted to. And then next we're gonna go through embossing powders. This is just a mixture. I used to have the Lawn Fawn in the white, but I found it wasn't as white as I wanted it to be, and I moved to this Recollections snow colored one. It's also fine detail embossing powder, so it's a little bit more fine than this Lawn Fawn one, so it's better for sentiments. And this is what I use on here. Used to make my heart pop, this Doodlebug stamp set with Simon Says stamps, I believe, from a few years ago. And again, I suggest having gold, silvered, white, and clear embossing powder. Clear embossing powder is really good for if you want to stamp black pigment ink and cover it to make a more glossy finish on there. I wouldn't recommend getting black embossing ink because it's hard to get away all those little bits, and you might have to scratch them off, and it will be extremely hard to remove from your card. So I suggest stamping with black ink, but it has to be a pigment ink, something that stays wet, or you can stamp in a black dye ink and just use your clear ink over top of it so that it becomes sticky enough for the embossing powder to stick to. And then again, I have silver and gold from Lawn Fawn. I bought these like 5 years ago, and I do use them quite a bit, but not super often. But you can like just tell how long this stuff will last you. Like you only need a very little bit of powder. I'm very like, still have like 3/4 of this container of the gold. The silver I think is all stuck to the sides, but I think I use this one more often. Oh, maybe not. I use the gold more often. I probably use white most often. I think that container was at least half done. I did get rid of it because I decided to move to this one, but and then clear embossing I use quite a bit. I'll use this for background stamps like this. So I clear embossed this background stamp on watercolor paper. I use my Nouveau shimmer powders on the background, and you can see I also used the clear gems for a little bit more bling, and I also added a bit of glitter gel pen. So this card is super shiny. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but the shimmer powders are very, very sparkly. So I recommend having embossing powders, clear embossing ink, and then you're going to need a heat gun. So I have the Wow embossing powder heat gun that I got from Simon Says Stamp. It has 2 heat settings. So if you're going to be stamping on vellum or acetate, I would suggest using a lower setting. All my cardstocks, I always use the higher setting, but this tool works really amazing. I love it, and recommend getting this when you're doing embossing. And just like, I know I mentioned this in last week's video for adhesives, but foam tape is really good for adding dimension to your cards. This is Simon Says Stamp Big Mama foam tape. These are just like extra bits. I always just like stick them to the side so I could use them later. But they do add like very thin dimension. Like this is like 1/16 of an inch wide. If you want it wider, you can fold it over like I did here at the end, just to give it that extra thickness. You can fold it over a 3rd time if you want. When you're doing shaker cards with this, I would recommend folding it probably like 3 or 4 times just because it is so thin. Or you can just build up your layers with cardstock. You could also do that with your images as well, but I just find this quick and easy to use. For dimension, this is just a card that I started, but I've added a little bit of dimension with the foam tape there. And this one here, I'm just working on a few baby cards. So it just gives that little bit of a dimension. You can see like a tiny bit of shadow cast from my lamp here, but I will finish those off later. So you can also get glitter gel pens. This one's a silver one. I also have clear ones. The clear ones are great for adding just little dots of glitter. You can do this over color. I've also used these as embellishments, so you can just like draw a little circle and use your glossy accents over it. This is just in a precision bottle that I bought off Amazon, and it's clogged. And then when it dries, it'll just look like you've done your own little like enamel dot in glitter. And you can do this with any colored glitter gel pen. This is just like a cheap and inexpensive way to do it. You can go to the dollar store and grab some glitter gel pens, and then just get this. Comes in like a bigger bottle, which I've used most of. This is all that I have left, and I've just put it in a precision bottle for ease. But Glossy Accents is only, again, like another $6-7. So another couple dollars for gel pens, and you would have a ton of like enamel dots that you can make on your cards, and that would just look glittery and fairly cheap to do. So that's it for today. Next week's video is going to be one more educational video before I get back into the cards. Just my crafty thoughts on how to get your materials inexpensively, especially as a beginner card maker. You don't want to be spending a ton of money. So I think it will be very helpful for people. But that's it for today. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!